what goes into making are put together by artisans who need to be paid fair wages and paid well, which also makes it expensive. In a certain way, to make it pocket friendly, affordable, but more importantly, sticking to the whole idea of slow fashion. If you understand slow fashion, it is about investing in clothes, investing in styles, which is going to last for long. And if something needs to last for long, there has to be a certain amount of quality that needs to go into it, which can withstand all the elements and for it to stay. Hi, I'm Vivek Karunakaran at the Kerala Literature Festival with Apostrophes.
Hi.
Hi.
India has a rich legacy in design, textile, variety, everything is there. Now, Kalamkari, we can see in international fashion shows, we can see the touch of handloom in international fashion circuit. But still, has India achieved the potential that really that our country has in international fashion circuits and fashion shows?
I think there's never been a time where the world has looked at India the way it is looking right now. I believe India has so much to offer, and now the world is looking at India with wide eyes to see the beauty that with which we are able to explore that we have so much of craft, we have so much of textile. It is just that we have not said enough with it. I think over the last many years, artists, creators, designers have been doing an excellent job of taking Indian art and craft to the rest of the world, and hence the world is looking at Chennai at India with a lot of respect.
And earlier, at least for some of the common men, fashion and modeling was something like a show only. Now, fashion is something to make a statement, on one's identity, to make a statement on one's culture, to make a statement on a political issue. Fashion has become a space where one can make a bold statement with his or her choice of cloth, with his or her choice of brand, with his or her choice of designers. How you value this?
I'm going to look at this with a slightly more broader perspective. I'm going to perhaps look at style and not just fashion. I think style is a very personal extension of oneself. And the answer lies within. Because when you are able to understand yourself, your roots, your culture, everything that you do is going to be an extension of that. So I think, like than ever before, it is time that all of us looked inward, celebrated where we come from, who we are, and extend that in the best possible way in the way you style yourself, in the kind of clothes you wear, and the story that you want to say through that, right? As in, it's very important that I feel that there is an element of story that is woven into what you wear.
See, if somebody wears a Kerala Kasavu sari with motifs of Kathakali or boat race, the famous boat race, it represents Kerala. The attire represents Kerala. And when somebody takes a handbag like a watermelon, it shows their solidarity with Palestine issue. And when you wear a dress with scriptures from Tirukural, it shows where you are from or what you are trying to represent.
Yeah.
So dress, costume, everything represents something.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not just dress. And,
It becomes a canvas.
exactly.
It becomes a medium of expression. It becomes a language that you're able to communicate to the rest of the world who you are and where you're from. In a certain way, it also perhaps helps you identify yourself. I'm sure that you would be able to identify someone who's wearing a veshti, which is in a kasava, from someone who's wearing a kurta and a dhoti, who's from anywhere else in India, right? So the point is that it becomes a very strong aesthetic visual that represents a certain culture and identity. But woven into that more, if you have elements of the rootedness of where you're coming from, like you rightly said, be it the Tirukural, be it the boat race, be it the Ikkat, be it the Kalamkari. These are very beautiful ways of expressing the art form, the culture of a certain place from where you are. So I think it becomes a beautiful canvas for you to represent yourself.
See, sometimes the designed clothes or design material, which can convey some message and all, are tend to be very expensive,
Yeah.
and which can be, nobody, one large section of society just can't see it on screen or on ads or on photos. Even if they want to express themselves with a message, they cannot afford.
Yeah.
So, where we can make that bridge?
It's a very interesting question because certain things are expensive because of the raw materials that goes into making them are sourced from the most ethical practices, and which are expensive because it's ethical, right? uh, what goes into making are put together by artisans who need to be paid fair wages and paid well, which also makes it expensive. The kind of work that goes into creating that beautiful piece of clothing would take hours and hours of an artisan working on it, which makes it expensive. So there are various aspects of what makes a product expensive. Now, the final part of it, after making the product to take it to a customer, you need to make the environment, the ambience, an extension of the product, an extension of the brand, where the customer feels the beauty of the product, and hence there is a creative journey that goes into curating the space in which the product is shown to the customer, which also makes it expensive, right? There are so many aspects which add to a certain value of the product, which is what you're calling expensive. What goes behind it in terms of every nuance and every detail which is woven into it to give it the value that it deserves to get is what we call expensive. Yes, truly so. It caters to a niche market, but I think there is a lot of effort that is going into making it affordable, and we call it affordable luxury, right? Where we are able to maybe not create too many styles, but create one style and produce it more, where you bring down the cost, where you still keep the quality. We do not compromise on the quality, but you minimize on the detail, you bring down the cost. And in a certain way, to make it pocket friendly, affordable, but more importantly, sticking to the whole idea of slow fashion, right? Because today, if you understand slow fashion, it is about investing in clothes, investing in styles which is going to last for long. And if something needs to last for long, there has to be a certain amount of quality that needs to go into it, which can withstand all the elements and for it to stay, right? So it is a very thin line between being able to cater to that and to be able to cater to a larger audience, for people to have something which can sustain, which is still not cheap. So I think it is about finding that balance where you, like I said, you use a quality base product, you add minimal detailing which has the essence of the style or the design, and make it pocket friendly for people. And I think a lot of designers and brands are very conscious of this and making a lot of effort towards doing this. Yeah.
Now tell me about your experience in KLF.
My experience with KLF and me go back 3 years. Um, it is, I would say KLF has been such a breath of fresh air for me. When you come from the world of fashion and thrown into this ocean of authors, journalists, um, I was like so wide eyed when I came in. And what intrigued me the most was the pure simplicity with which everything coexisted. Um, it was so wonderful to see how people from all spectrums, you know, was under one roof, easy to communicate with. They had no airs about themselves. And I would say kudos to the KLF team for bringing this kind of a, you know, I think it is more than a literature festival, I feel. I think it is coming together of a lot of very beautiful, interesting people where cultures mingle, where, you know, thoughts, both provoking and not, are discussed about, and fearlessly. And I think that is so beautiful about the festival, because I attended a couple of festivals, and I've also a few sessions that I saw at KLF. I just love the confidence with which everyone is able to express themselves fearlessly, and I think that is so wonderful. Um, I have been associated with them, other than for the sessions that I do, in helping KLF curate a bunch of interesting speakers, perhaps to bring on a little bit of style and glamour without losing the essence of the festival. And that is very, very important, because I think what one needs to be respectful about is the fact that it is, at the end of the day, a literature festival. We need to look at what we could do to add a little bit of value to it, in terms of the kind of people that we are able to bring on board, who can express themselves, who uses as a platform to express themselves, their point of views, and what the audience are going to love.
And what makes this brand your favorite?
This brand is my favorite because this is my own brand. So what I'm wearing is Vivek Karunakaran. This is from our most recent collection, Idam, which celebrates South India, particularly Tamil Nadu. And this collection is an ode to Tamil Nadu, the palette inspired from the red and white temple walls, the script, which is a Tamil script, the jasmine flowers sold outside the temples. So it is a beautiful way in which we've tried to reimagine the culture, but to express it in a way that's more modern, and which is very strong and powerful, saying that we are very, very fearless about who we are and where we come from.
And when you say that word, it has it's a very strong message. Where we are and what we are, it's a statement which it has multiple meaning, and
Absolutely.
it's a strong statement.
Yes, it is.
Actually, when it is being when three language policy, other policies, everything is being discussed, one declaring oneself, one's root, is a huge statement.
Absolutely, yeah. And the idea is to be able to use this as a platform. This is my voice.
Yes.
Like for a journalist, it is pen on paper. This is, for me, it is fabric and textile and texture and style. So I use this as a platform to fearlessly say what I believe in, and use this as a platform to reach out to the world, and to connect to the world, to tell them there is a lot more than what you think. There is so much more to explore, and this becomes the starting point of the conversation.
And it's a very great starting point also.
Thank you.
I have to say that. And this is one bold statement I have seen in recent times, declaring one's root, and the urge to declare oneself that I am here, this is I am, this is my route, and
Yeah.
this is my choice.
I
That's
think-
what you are making, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it is about being fearless and ruthlessly fearless is where I would put it at. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much
you so
for the
much.
time.
Thank you for having me.